In the holiday, when Cameron Diaz is drinking wine straight from the bottle in the grocery store because she's so frustrated, for being honest, I think a lot of agents have felt that way after this year in real estate.
So true. Also, that's my top favorite movie scene ever. But also when she's trying to fit into that tiny bathtub in the English cottage, that is what so many agents are doing with their marketing.
Right? They're trying to squeeze their personality, their life, and their expertise and everything they know they should be doing into a marketing plan that wasn't built for them in the first place.
Inside Modern Agent Social Club, we give you the space to actually build a brand and a marketing plan that fits you, one that feels fun, personal, and that positions you as the go-to agent in your community.
Now, we want you to make time for cozy nights at home watching movies like The Holiday, but Q4 is your runway for 2026, and our luxury marketing platform is the perfect place to start.
So get out of the tiny bathtub, pour the wine, and join us inside Modern Agent Social Club today so you can start 2026 with clarity and momentum.
Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Modern Agent Marketing Girls. Today, we are talking all about growing your local following in a way that's true to you. You get to hear from the agent that you all love to follow on Instagram, Melissa Sanregret. She has built a business that attracts leads directly from Instagram. In fact, after we went off air, she told me she was closing 5 leads from Instagram this month alone. Now, at one point in the interview, we had some technical difficulties that were totally my fault. So the sound is a little off just for a few minutes, but keep listening because Melissa shares all her secrets so that you too can build a business and a brand you love that supports your life. There is so much good stuff here. Let's get into it. How do I get more leads?
How do I stand out in my market?
Is it unprofessional to talk about my kids on Instagram?
Should I have one account or 2?
Do I really need a personal brand as a real estate agent?
We are the Modern Agent Marketing Girls. We are 2 agents turned marketing experts who believe you can become the go-to real estate girl in your market all because you are you. I'm Chelsea Peterson, founder and CEO of Modern Agent Social Club.
And I'm Kayla Fox, Modern Agent's content creator. Let us be your guide as we talk about what it means to market your real estate business the modern way.
So refill your favorite beverage, open your notes app, and get ready to build a business and a brand you're obsessed with. Let's go.
Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of the Modern Agent Marketing Girl podcast. I am here sans Chelsea today because she is actually on her way to a content shoot for Modern Agent. But you don't have to just hear me today because I brought in a very beloved agent and member of Modern Agent and someone that everyone loves to follow. It's Melissa Sanregret. Hello, Melissa.
Hello, Kayla.
I am so glad that you're here. We are both sporting butter yellow for a purpose, which is that it's one of your go-to brand colors.
Yes, and honestly, I do need one of your shirts because it is the exact color that I love.
That's so funny. Yes, I'm wearing my sister. She has a bake shop and she created the viral butter tees. And so it's a yellow sweatshirt with butter on it. And so when this morning when I was getting ready, I'm like, no, I have to put this on because this is Melissa's color. And it's the only butter yellow that I have.
Oh, yeah.
So.
It's so rich. The color of it is just ooh, it looks so cozy.
That's so fun. I love it. Okay, Melissa, can you give us just a 30-second trailer version at who you are and what you're about, your business, all the things?
Sure. So my name is Melissa Sanregret. I am an agent based out of Calgary, Alberta. So I serve most of the Alberta province here in Canada. And I have been licensed for just about 5 years now. I originally started my career as an assistant to an incredibly busy real estate agent, which I attribute a lot of my success now, I guess, to those early days. Because, I was basically just getting thrown right in the fire right at the start. It was no selling sunset. Even though that's what I said in my interview.
Yeah.
That's all I knew about real estate at the time was that I watched all the seasons. Yeah.
So
and
disappointing.
I can't believe he hired me, to be honest, but I'm very thankful for that. And then now I'm primarily working with millennials. I market my business towards millennials. I also I am a beekeeper as well, which
Oh my gosh.
yeah, hence
The yellow. Yes, yes.
It kind of all ties in together because actually Melissa means honeybee.
Oh,
So
that's so cool.
Yeah, so all said and done, it kind of everything comes back to little ties into it, but we can go into more of that later.
Yes, that is so fun. Okay, I was gonna ask you a little bit about your brand menu. Like, what would you
Mm.
say would be on your brand menu?
Definitely the fact that I wear yellow. I try to pick up any piece that I can
Yeah.
off marketplace or any vintage shop or online, especially in the springtime.
Yes.
Because it just seems to last forever too. But yellow is a big part of my brand, along with that my bees, just
Yeah.
specifically because Melissa means honeybee. So it's
Yes.
a good way to remind it. And I've been doing that for about 3 years now. I've had honeybees. And then I would say I actually have like cups now that I've been putting into my brand. So you
Oh,
can
that's
see
so
here.
cute. Queen bee.
I've got queen bee, I've got busy bee, I've got another one too. Like I think I've got 4. So I'm incorporating those as well for like
That's
my
so fun.
staple. Yeah.
Yes.
And what else do we got that I consistently do? I don't know.
I love that I could have told you that some of those things were on your brand menu because you see it all throughout your content as you're just looking through your content. And like, once you start, guys, once you start following one of her reels, you're going to like go back and like binge more and more and more because you add so much of your personality to your content, which is so fun. So we're going to get into all of that, which I'm super excited about. But first, I wanted to ask you this. Chelsea and I came up with this like juicy little question to ask any person who joins the podcast. If your very best friend was a real estate agent and she came to you and she said, "Okay, you can only give me one piece of advice to be successful," what would you tell her?
I would tell her to keep showing up. When we give you a lot of your time, when you're consistently putting the effort in and you're not seeing a lot of results, it's always like, is this working? And then I just would encourage her to keep going because it does pay off. And, you will reap the rewards of something later on. And I've seen that with my social media.
Yeah, for sure. That's such good advice. And it's one, especially like as the market has gone up and down and up and down. Like, I don't know exactly how it's been for you in Canada, but I know it's just been kind of disheartening for a lot of people. But it's just a matter of like, you have to stick through it, you have to persevere. And that's the message to like every entrepreneur, right? It's not just real estate, like every market has highs and lows. And if are you going to be a person who keeps showing up or are you going to give up?
Yeah, exactly. It's been pretty quiet here. We've had an extreme market shift this year. And, it's completely different than how it was when we started. Like things aren't going off the shelves anymore. So we gotta get creative. We gotta find ways to generate business. When we're on social media for quite a few hours in our day, if we're being honest, then why don't we use that to attract clients that we want to work with? And so that's why we're here today.
Yeah, exactly. So have you from day one, have you always looked to social media to help grow your business, or was that like a newer thing that you started in the last couple of years?
I haven't. I started as an assistant to that crazy busy agent, and I was in charge of pretty much everything, including his social media. And it was a big learning curve at that time. And so when I branched off from his team and ended up going solo, I was really unsure about which direction I wanted to take in mine because I wasn't seeing the results that he was seeing on his using that same technique. So I ended up not even doing anything on social media for like a year and a half, 2 years. I barely even posted that I was even in real estate, which is also afraid, I guess, about what people would think of me now that I was like on my own and I was really getting in my own headspace. So
Yeah. So how did you like fight through that? Because now you're like social media is complete fire. Like it's so good. So how did you get from there to here?
I started putting the effort in actually this time last year. I ended up starting to work with some people who are really big in the social media business in real estate, and they don't necessarily do much for me in terms of like coaching. It's more just being surrounded by who they are and what they're providing for everybody. And I was done kind of playing this on the fence. I was ready to go all in. I've been doing this for now 5 years, but it wasn't until like 2 years ago that I was like, okay, I really want to go all in on this and make this my career for the rest of my life. Like, one of my biggest things that was holding me back, though, is that I was just afraid to post. I wasn't even sure what to post. I was overthinking it. And so, just one day I was like, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. I just need to start doing it, because if I'm going to get good at this, then I have to just start putting it out there. I read a book, I can't remember which one it was, but it had mentioned, like, it's not the quality of one time, it's the quantity that you put in that makes it even better. And done is better than perfect. And that sounds like such a cliche thing to say, but it's so true, because every time I post something, I can see how it could be better afterwards. But I just got to get it out there and then see how it goes, because usually the things that I think are going to do excellent don't perform well. And the things that I don't put any effort into do incredibly well.
Yes, that's like the name of the game. It's so true. No, you're totally right. I think, we have to get out of our heads as far as only thinking about ourselves. I love the joke where it's like, I don't know why my story views say only like 10 people watched it because I watched it 100 times. But like, we watch our content with much more of a critical eye than what anyone else does. Most people are only watching the first 10 seconds of a reel and then moving on if they interact or anything. But like when we have our eyes on ourselves, we aren't able to serve people well. We aren't able to serve our communities well because we're not showing up the way that we actually should. But when we actually like stop thinking about ourselves and just show up thinking like maybe this will get to the right person, like maybe this will make one person think like home ownership is possible for them or whatever,
Yeah.
then that's when like everything unlocks. And I feel like you can like start to see like momentum in your business.
100%. It's a good reminder that we're not making the content for ourselves. And I think that's kind of where I got stuck in the first little bit, is like, what do I think is funny? What jokes will I get? And then I have to remind myself the joke has to be very blatantly out there, usually for people to get it. And it has to happen right at the start. It can't be something that you kind of build up to that you get. So yeah, it kind of comes down to like simplifying things a little bit, and just kind of seeing what works, and not taking it too seriously, just consistently kind of showing up for it every day.
Yes. I think if every agent listening committed to stop taking themselves so seriously, especially on social media, and, I think there's a fear that people will find me unprofessional if I'm like joking around about something. But I think you mix humor really beautifully with the rest of your content. Like, it's not like you're trying to be a stand up comedian, but just making like those little jokes or just like being a little goofy, like the way that you start a reel or whatever, like it just lets people feel like I would feel at ease working with you or reaching out to you just because of that. But it's not like you're trying to be like the funniest girl on the internet either. Like, and I think people think that like, well, if this is my brand menu, then I have to go all in. And it's like, no, no, no. Like, it's all about sprinkling sprinkle things all throughout your content. And that's what makes people like feel something when they watch your content.
Totally. The thing is about it is that you're the only you to ever exist in this world. And that's why people are going to hire you. That's why your friends are attracted to you. That's who you are. And so, when you try to do something that it isn't authentic to you, it shows.
Yeah. Well, it's so interesting hearing you say that because I would have never guessed that any of those things were a struggle for you. And I think that's the other thing too, like, the whole thing about the internet isn't real. People can look at other agents and think like, oh, they have it all figured out. Like they're selling all these houses, they're showing all these listing videos, doing all these things when like behind the scenes, it's like, well, that contract just ended and terminated, or this what client just fired me, or like the market, nothing's moving. And it's like, man, like, but also like there's insecurities. Like there's things that people think like, am I showing up in a way like how are people consuming this? Like, are they taking me seriously? Do they think like, who does she think she is to do this and whatever? But like you have to think about not just your content, but like what do you want your life to be like? What do you want your legacy to be? And is it gonna be someone who like hid behind, the camera because they were too nervous to serve anybody? Or is it someone who's like unapologetic about showing up and being who they are to connect with the right people so that you can serve your community?
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people wouldn't expect that I actually don't feel very comfortable or didn't feel comfortable in front of the camera before, especially when someone else is recording. Like, if I'm at home, it's cool. I can take 100 different takes. Everything's gonna be okay. I can pick the exact right one. But then, when you're in front of the camera and someone else is taking it, it's like, what do I do with my hands? Like that movie, like Talladega Nights, where I was really just sitting there with my hands in front of my face. And so that also just comes with consistently doing it, and getting in front of the camera, even if you don't want to, and just trying little things, baby steps at the start. And then eventually it just becomes, like a little bit more second nature. But it's never that easy. It's always like I don't think that anybody doesn't feel nervous when they first, have to get in front of it because
Oh my
that's like,
gosh. Yeah, and it's like embracing it a little bit, I think it goes a long way. So let's talk about your content creation process a little bit. Like, you have a lot of content where you probably set up a camera or tripod and you do it, but you also seem to have like a lot of content where someone's actually filming you. So like, how do you decide what you're doing and who do you have helping you out? And let's talk about like the logistics of everything.
hmm. So I actually do a lot of my content filming on my own. I just have this little tripod and I cap cut edit, keyframe. It's what it looks like when somebody's recording me, but it's usually just me. I'll set up my tripod in the middle of the street. I hired somebody to do it with me last year, and I found that to be actually quite time consuming. And I also felt like that same feeling of like feeling really self conscious. Like, does this look good? So now what I do is I'll just ask another agent if they want to go out and we'll film each other doing different things and we can kind of look and see what works. And we're like, okay, we got to redo that and like way more authentic. It's way cheaper. And then you can both get some good content. And it's a nice way to make friends and see each other.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think every agent needs that real estate bestie, whether it's someone in their office or not, but just someone that's like, okay, if I'm going to go out there and make a fool of myself doing this, then you are too. And then you don't feel so foolish doing it. You feel kind of like, okay, we actually are looking good. Like this is turning out okay.
100%. Yes, I agree with that.
That's awesome. I love that. So I have to ask you, your listing videos are super fun. Do you only list the most beautiful homes ever? Or is that like what's around? I feel like sometimes like, and I joke about this, but it is true. If some people have these amazing listing videos, but then I think, but that's not the kind of houses that I was listing. So how do I make my listings look cool? So like, what's the deal with your listing videos?
I think it's very important to treat a mobile home as the same value as you would treat like $1 million home. Because at the end of the day, content is content. People are going to see that you're going to be putting this out regardless of where it goes. And, actually my very first listing was a mobile home. So like I still actively sell them. So it's like kind of just like the clients matter no matter which price range they're at, and really at the end of the day, it comes down to how you're willing to show up for them. And so that's kind of how you kind of build the stepping stones for you to get to, the larger listing, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and your sellers have to look at your marketing on social and think, okay, if she can do that for her business or if she can do that for that house, like I wonder what she can do for mine. Like, have you had clients like straight up tell you, like, I'm hiring you because I love your social media?
Yes, actually, I would say now I'm seeing the payoff of the last year of consistently showing up on social media. And that has a lot to do with working with you guys. I think we started working together in May.
Hmm.
That was when I had started putting myself out there. The first 6 months of this year, I was really just experimenting with everything. And now that I have a more streamlined idea of what I want to be putting out there, thanks to the content that you guys have helped us with, especially with social media and or an email and owning kind of your followers or allowing them to be able to access your sphere, your inner circle is really, really important.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to show up on social media every day and not see any results, and then it's another thing altogether to be able to interact with the people who are looking at your content and actually build a personal relationship with them on the back end. I just sold a listing through social media this month and just went live this morning. So
That's amazing. That is
yeah.
amazing. Yeah, it's nice to see payoff. And I know we always say like modern agent marketing is the long game. And it's not like, right now business, but it's sustainable business. And like sometimes you have to wait a little bit to get those people actually reaching out or actually like remembering you because of your content. But they're the ones that are probably going to be the most loyal. And like they're the ones that are going to refer you to all their friends and all of that. So like staying patient and continuing to show up and like, produce more content in the meantime, even when you don't feel like you're getting results is so like it's such a huge game changer.
Yeah. And like barely any times will I be clicking like usually on people's posts, but I will consistently watch them.
Yes.
So that's another thing to keep in mind too, is that even if somebody is not really specifically interacting with it, doesn't mean that it's not hitting.
Yes.
I do have a lot of people that I'll see in person that will be like, "Oh, that video that you did was so good, and this really resonated with me," or, "Hey, I picked my paint color for my wall because of what you had posted the other day," and, like, hearing stuff like that is just like, "Hey, you know what? This is really making a bigger impact than we realize."
Yes. That's so, so true.
Another thing that I probably wanted to add too is that it is okay to get ideas from other people and put your own spin on it. I feel like there really isn't anything new under the sun. So if getting started means trying an idea that somebody else has done, then all the power to you. That's basically
Yeah.
what I was doing when I was getting started too, is
Yes.
is just seeing something that was funny, seeing something that worked, and then just trying it for myself just to get some more momentum and like learn how to do some of the things that they were doing. So that's another
Yes.
thing, yeah.
I think that you can learn so much from imitation, and that doesn't mean you just, like, blatantly copy somebody, but, like, I mean, that's a lot of our stuff too, like, we like to make up a lot of things, we like to make our own things, but it doesn't mean we never get inspiration from other accounts or other reels that we like that hook, and let's put our own twist I mean, that's
Yeah,
like there's nothing new under the sun, right? So everyone's always, like, pulling something from somewhere, um,
exactly.
so I love that you were just willing to try things.
I'll just like scroll on like some comedy things and be like, could this work for real estate? If
Yes.
it's yes, I'll put it in the safe folder. If it's no, like what kind of spin could I put on this?
Yes, exactly, exactly. Saving things and just doing things that feel right. And sometimes I think, like, I save so many ideas and then I'll come back to it and be like, yeah, it's nothing, not coming to me. And then it's like, well,
Yeah.
that's fine. Like, then I'll go on to the next one. But
Yeah,
like, sometimes I'll see one reel and I think of 15 ideas. Like, yeah, I love that. But you have to take that time. And I think that's using your social media time intentionally too. It's not just mindlessly scrolling just for the sake of it, but it's also being like, wait, why did I watch this reel? Or why did I like that? Or why did I want to click on her profile after I saw that? Like, I think you can learn so much just from your own behavior and it makes you pay attention to how you show up.
exactly. And I think that ties a lot back into kind of what you guys provide for us, or you ladies provide for us here, is the ability to show up consistently using things that we identify with already,
Mhm.
that we also want people to resonate with. And,
Yes.
like picking your brand, like how we had talked about it at the beginning, showing up with, a certain coffee mug or a color or your brand scheme, or this is what I do every day. Like these things people like to watch. Like I know personally for me, I like digestible content
Mhm.
and things that I like when I'm going on social media at the end of a busy day. I want to laugh. I want to just, be entertained for like a
Yeah.
short period of time. And I think, that ties into just stopping to overthink it. And what you guys provide for us at Modern Agent is the ability to do just that.
I love
It,
that.
it's tons of ideas. Like the ideas that you give us are like bar none, like you go above and beyond. And
Yeah.
so it's like whatever I'm feeling in that specific day or week, I have the ability to find something that would resonate with that specific feeling that I have and then putting my
Yeah.
own twist on it.
I love
And
that.
it also comes down to I don't need to put my own twist on it if I need to because it
No.
really is cut and dried. If I had 0 time in my day and all I did was just like copy paste, aside from the
Yes.
fact that I have to change the Canadian spelling.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you about that
Otherwise,
too
that's
later. I
okay.
have questions about you being Canadian.
Yeah. But other than that, it's like it's great ideas. It's like a friendly reminder all the time that you don't have to overdo it. Just show
Yes.
up. Hey, here's a reminder that, I exist and I'm still
Yeah.
working. And I think you guys, you've said it very often is if you're in line for the grocery store, I pull my phone out and I'm
Yeah.
looking at my Instagram and then I scroll up, it disappears. I'll never see that again. So
Yep.
you could be that one blip on someone's screen for like that 0.5 second.
Yeah.
And so if you're just putting out content every day with that in mind, that
Yes.
not everybody is seeing every single thing you post,
Yes.
then it makes it a lot easier. And Another thing too, when I first started is being worried about what others thought of me, like people who actually knew me.
Mhm.
And I have found that people who know me love my content
That's really
more than I
cool.
ever imagined because it's fun and it resonates with them too. And they actually like seeing you succeed.
Oh, yeah.
They want to see you put yourself out there and they are proud of you behind the scenes. And so, it's really nice to hear that. I've actually, since I started going more on social media, I had, I think, 2,500 followers since like Instagram started.
Mhm.
And in the last year, I have doubled that. So I
Oh my
have
gosh.
around 5,200 people with me now.
Wow.
And that's people I don't know, and that's people also that I've known that have just found
Yep.
me once again and wanna follow along on the adventures that we go on, and that yeah, it's been really fun.
That's so cool. Okay, let's talk about this because one way that you have really grown your following is through like different forms of local guide, whether they've been seasonal guides or whatever. And like, I feel like you joined Modern Agent and then started this right away, and you were like, "Oh my gosh, it's so much growth!" And we were like, "Yay!" So like, tell us what you did and tell us why you think it worked.
I don't know, like, it was crazy. I feel like I found you at the perfect moment in my career because I had already kind of just been experimenting with some things, and I feel like with working with you has just allowed me to kind of pull my, like, blinders on and, like, narrow in on, like, what my purpose is for this, and
Yeah.
that is to, make this fun and make this my business. And so,
Yes.
I think I listened to one of your podcasts in May, and I was driving back from Edmonton, which is a 2-hour drive, right? That's my
Uh huh.
hometown from here, and I was listening to one of the podcasts. I literally got in my door and signed up for Modern
Yes.
Natives. I was like, "Okay, I think that they have it going on, and I really wanna do this." So,
Yeah.
it was, like, immediately after that when I started implementing everything because there is such a plethora of, like, guides. Like, you have really nailed absolutely every next step you can possibly think of, when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to there's so many that I think it's really important to just kind of focus on a couple and then kinda streamline
Yes.
it as we go along. So I picked the, city guides
Mm-hmm.
because I truly am obsessed with the like, Calgary where I live right now. I just love
Yep.
it. It's such a beautiful city, and there's so much going on, and so I was like, "Okay, this is perfect. I'm gonna do this." And then also, like, the future homeowners guide and then the home selling boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's, like, all very good knowledge for whether you're a buyer or a seller, and it really gives everything in a condensed, easy to understand package.
Yes.
And with the guides, so I'll just, like, look up things that I actually wanna do,
Mm-hmm.
not things that are just, like, kind of whatever.
That's
Like, what
key right
would I
there.
go to? Yeah.
Yes. That makes all the
And then
difference because then people wanna hear it
fun.
from you. They're not just Googling what to do in Calgary, but they're like, "I wanna know what Melissa does or what she would tell me to
Yeah.
do."
Exactly, and it honestly, no matter where you live, even if it's, like, a bigger city or a smaller town, it's like, "What do I like to do?" If I like going and walking if my town is, like, 500 people and I like going and walking around this tiny little lake,
Yeah.
then it's okay to promote that tiny little lake that you walk around and, like, get people outside, it's just, like, you never
Yes.
know how your content is gonna resonate, so just showing up as yourself and, like, what you do is, like, key. Anyways,
Yeah.
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 So I ended up putting out my first guide, and it was during the marathon season during this time, and I, like, took this video of the panning of the people running, and at the end, there was a girl dressed up in a dill pickle, and she was holding a sign that said, "You're kind of a big dill."
Oh my gosh.
And so it says, "Point of view, you're obsessed with summer in Calgary," and then it ends on her,
Mhm.
and that went viral. Like,
Oh my
people
gosh.
loved that. I had, like, almost 100 signups within, like, the first week, for the summer guide, and I think that reel has, like, 200,000 views. It's crazy.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
so cool, and, I love it because it's something that you're probably already doing or something in your town that you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna see this anyway," but you added a little bit of humor, so
Yeah.
already not only did they sign up for your guide, but they probably looked at your profile too to be like, "Who is this girl?" And like, "Oh, this she has this for me? I wanna know what that is." So it all works
Yeah,
together, it's
that
like this big machine.
100%, and that really kickstarted my growth. It
Mhm,
now I think before I had met you, I had been growing steadily, but it wasn't
mhm.
until, I started kind of putting more of these little, ideas into my social media that things have started growing more consistently.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah,
so
it's been really
cool.
fun.
Hey, we have big goals for you to help you sell more houses, build a brand you love, and become the go-to agent in your community.
And we are working hard to make that happen, from preparing new podcast episodes every week to creating free resources to constantly improving the Modern Agent Social Club membership so marketing feels easier and more effective for you.
We also have big goals for this podcast to get these conversations into the ears of more agents who are desperate for that same transformation.
If this show has helped you this year, it would mean so much if you left a 5-star review to tell us something you like about the show. And when you do, you can email a screenshot of it to support@modernagentsocialclub.com for a free gift from us.
Another thing you could do, share our show with a real estate friend. You'll be their hero for sending them an hour of encouragement each week, and it takes less than a minute.
And meanwhile, we'll be over here brainstorming more ways we can support you and your business. Okay, back to the show.
Yeah.
And I love that too. And it's a testament to the work that you've put in, because I know sometimes we struggle because we're like, okay, we want to do all of these things. But the bottom line is the only way that the content can be great is if people put their own twist on it, because you can create content like that and promote your guide. But my guide and my promotion should look completely different from yours. It should reflect me and my personality and my town and all of that. But I love that so much about our members, because I feel like even if you don't have a lot of time on your hands, we already add personality to the content, right? But if you do have a little extra moment where you can add your own little twist and promote it in your own way, I mean, the sky's the limit. There's so much you can do.
Totally. And I think it's nice that with the way that you have everything structured is that you'll give us the idea, and then when you go to open it up in Canva to kind of do your own spin on it, you have the notes on the inside. This is ideas that you can do. Have a look at this Instagram account to see if this could be something that we
Yes.
to mimic, and even for B-roll content and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been really, really great.
I'm so glad. That's so, so cool. You've also been doing the digital magazine. So we always provide one post that you can share every single month that always has something a little bit different in it. But I love how you have customized yours. So can you tell me your thought process behind that and what the feedback has been?
Honestly, it has been one of the most positive posts that I'm doing. It's really, really taken off. People look forward to that. They actually message me about it.
No way.
Yeah, and
That's
I
cool.
it also comes with the way that you have set up the structure of the Canva, and teaching us how to layer things on, because I
Mm-hmm.
think that really what makes you stop and scroll is the wait. What did I just see? And then you kind of go
Yes.
back and you're like, oh, whoa, was she standing in front of the words? And how did that happen? And so
Yes.
then that kind of gets people going through it.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Well, and you've even added little video clips and stuff to yours too that just kind of it's scroll stopping, and it's, clips of you. It's not just, I mean, I'm never against using dupe photos for anything, but you take a lot of your own footage and put yourself into it, and then people recognize you and they recognize your city and all of that. And so it's easy for them to stop and think, this has to be for me. I want to see what this is.
And you know how I do it for my social media, or to film my B-roll content, or even to get the photos for my social media, is I will set up my tripod and then I record everything. I'll push record, and then I'll walk slowly towards the camera, and then I'll back up, and
Yes.
then afterwards I'll scroll through the video and I'll just pause it and screenshot it.
Oh, that is genius.
So then you're not just sitting there waiting for the 10-second timer. You can actually literally just screenshot the
Yes.
video, so you can pick the perfect moment where you're the light's hitting your face so lovely. You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
not oh no, I don't look good.
I love that too, because I feel like the photos and any kind of imagery on Instagram right now that does really well is that those action shots. They're not just the pose stills of whatever, but a little bit of movement. Even if your hair's wisping or whatever, just a little bit of something that's moving, it makes it feel more like a sneak peek behind the curtain. Ooh, what is she talking about, or what is she doing? And it's funny, it feels silly, but it does. It makes you stop and pay attention.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
love that. That's so cool. Let's talk about your Taylor Swift post, because I would be doing everyone a giant disservice if we didn't talk about your life of a real estate girl. Are you a Swiftie? Is that what made you really think I'm going to go all in?
You know what? I love Taylor. I've seen her a few times in concert. I've cried every time. because she is such an empowering person. I can't imagine why you would dislike her,
Mhm.
because she has really given so much confidence to young women ever since she was 15. And
Yes.
so, the launch of this next new era for her is very exciting for a lot of people.
Yep.
And so I was driving home. We Well, you had created this like idea for the life of a real estate girl,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, it was like a day in the life type of thing. But then I was driving home, and I was like, it was from some showings, and I was like, oh, I could create all of the album covers because it was like right before the launch.
Yes.
And I see a Michael's like art store on the like side of the road. I literally cut across like 3 lanes.
Oh
So
my
I was like, I
gosh.
need to go get some stuff for
Because
this.
these costumes were impressive. These were not just like, this was not ChatGPT at work here. This was the real deal.
Oh, I like found these feather plumes that were at this art store. I wore a flapper dress for the 1950s party for Halloween last year.
Okay.
So I had that. And then, yeah, I just went for it. I did like mimicked her with like the wet hair, but I was looking in the oven for an inspection.
Yes.
And
That one was so good.
I literally got in the tub.
That's so good. I love it.
With my outfit on.
I love it so much. The dedication to it all. And, again, that's what's so funny because I think even other agents might have seen something like that and thought, like, what is this girl doing? But that was just so you. Like, you were like, I'm going to go all in and I'm going to make this
Yeah.
awesome. And, like, people who get it, right? And they're probably more loyal to you because they're like, that's the agent that did this. Like, she's for me.
Yeah. And the people that I work with, they typically do love Taylor Swift too. So it's like, okay, well, let's just put this out there because we're all feeling the same way about this launch. So,
Yes. It's so
but
good.
even that post alone, by putting that own spin on it, that one has 20,000 views,
Oh my
and I think
gosh.
about 100 new followers came from that one.
Really?
So yeah. So that was fun.
That's so cool. And, it's such a good example. We'll link this in the show notes, by the way, if you're listening, so you can look and see what we're talking about. But it's such a good example, too, of it's not like you do that with every single piece of content that you're putting out there. You're not an entertainer, right? You're a real estate agent. But once in a while, if you've got a little bit of extra time, if you've got $100 to go spend at Michael's, like, that's what you want to do because that feels like you. And other people could even try to recreate that, but if that's not them, it's not going to land like it did for you and your audience. So it's all about just like recognizing your capacity, I think, and knowing like, if it's a really busy season, you're not going to have time for that. But if you've got some extra time, or if maybe business has slowed down a little bit or whatever, like, go all in, like do something, and like do something that brings you joy too, right? Like you had to have had so much fun putting that together.
Yeah. And you know what? That comes back to, I would never have had that idea if it wasn't for you, because you put out that idea as a bonus content like piece. It wasn't even part of like what our regular content is. So if anybody doesn't know how Modern Agent works, basically every month the girls put out for us like posts, and then also reel ideas, and then email ideas. And so you can customize all of those things, kind of how you do it, how you'd like, or whatever towards your personality. So they'll often give us like a fun way of putting it out there, or an elegant way of putting it out there, depending on what your brand looks like, or how you want to, or how you portray yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then every once in a while, you'll drop in like a bonus content, like probably like halfway through the month, that's like totally usable and current with what like
Yes.
the trend is for right now, because you really can't predict that at the beginning of the
Yep.
month. And then we'll kind of go from there. So it's really, really nice the way that we've streamlined everything, because we go through all the content at the beginning of the month all together as members,
Yeah.
and introduce it, walk through kind of what everything would look like, how you can do it. And then you
Yes.
also always remind us to stop overthinking it, which I
Yes.
love, because I'm like, oh yeah, like you can hear that so many times, but it still hits every time.
Yeah, well, we have to hear it too. Sometimes we overthink things, and it's like, no, let's just do this, and people will like it. Like it'll be fine. But it is hard,
Yeah,
especially when you want to do things in an excellent way too. Like you're always holding yourself to a higher standards. But then sometimes it's like, but you have to take action at some point in time. So you're so
yes,
sweet.
exactly.
We didn't pay you to
And
say any of that.
No, and you know what? That's another thing too, is like some of the girls, the members and I, we've developed a really strong friendship through so on Monday mornings, Kayla, as you know,
Yes.
they have the podcast, but there's a specific podcast just for members.
Mm-hmm.
So that drops on Sunday on the website, but then also on Monday morning on Apple. And so what we'll do is we'll listen to it, and then we'll kind of brainstorm ideas for us to kind of get things
Yes.
going for the week for us. And it's a really
Yes.
nice, okay, we're doing this. Like, it's Monday, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
what do I want to put out there in the world this week?
That is so cool. And I'm so thankful for members like you who like take that leadership on. We've always said like we would love to have all of these small groups and all of these things, but like we're a small team, right? There's 3 of us. Like we can only do so much. But I would love that you've like taken that on. And that's what it takes too. Like you have to decide, do you want that accountability or not? And like if that's
Mhm.
something that you've built into your schedule that you just know, hey, this is what I do during this period of time every Monday, then things happen. Like iron sharpens iron, right? Like you make each other better.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like you said, it's if I'm already working on content on Monday, I'll throw it out there. Join me and let's like work on something together.
Yes. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
so, so cool. Well, no, we're so glad that you did that. And that's what's so fun. This isn't even meant to be like a whole plug for Modern Agent, but if you're loving Melissa, you can work with her every Monday in the membership.
You can. And you know what? I'm here today because I believe in the content that you guys give to us. I truly believe it is so beneficial to smartly market ourselves in the most authentic way possible.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing at the end of the day is like I said, we're the only ones
Yeah.
and of us. So and people are attracted to us
Mm-hmm.
and they want to work with us. Like, even if we're similar to other people, how we interact with people is completely different, and we'll attract different. I think there's more than enough business to go around,
Yeah.
and that's a really important thing to remember. And even if you have the same content as somebody else who's working within the membership, you don't have the same followers.
No.
You don't have the same spheres, you don't have anything like that. So it is really important just to remember that at the end of the day, this is important stuff that you're just getting out, and have fun with it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and again, it's like we always say, no one else wakes up every morning thinking about your business except for us, because we try to think about it all the time. But like, it's true. Like, if you want to make something happen for yourself, if you have a goal that you want to sell so many houses or you want to make so much money or whatever, like, you're the one that's up to, like, you and only you. So, like, are you going to surround yourself with people? Like, I love what you said, even at the beginning, like, whether it's through the membership or just like people in real life, the testimony that your friends and family have like fully supported you and been so excited, that just proves that you have surrounded yourself with people who like make you better and who are genuinely for you. When you do that, when you put yourself in proximity with those people, like, that can change everything, because there's going to be, we all are going to have mornings where we wake up and think, why am I even doing this? Like, nobody cares what I have to say, or I'm just wasting, like, everyone has those thoughts all the time. But like, when you surround yourself with people who are genuinely rooting for you, you find a reason to like get up and keep fighting for what you want. And then that's how you make it happen.
Yeah, in order to elevate, I truly believe that you need to get into rooms with people who you want to be like.
Mm-hmm.
And whether that is following them on social media, reaching out and doing a Zoom, even
Mm-hmm.
if they don't live in your area, establishing connection and making yourself known, I guess, in
Yeah.
groups like that. And so that you can, have the freedom to bounce ideas off of other people, and they can, kind of implore some of their wisdom on you because
Yeah.
they were exactly where we are. I read a quote one time that really I think about every day is that overnight success takes on average about 5 years.
That's so
And
good.
and I think about that every day when I wake up and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, what am I doing? And it isn't until like later on, and then everyone sees your success. You're like, how did they do that? Well,
Yeah.
I cried into my chips with the
Yeah.
lights off in the bathtub, like, I don't
Yeah.
know, 7 times a month at the beginning of my career. Like,
Yep.
you see this now, but I wasn't like that always. And so it's just really
Yeah.
important to remember that like we're all going through it. And
Yes.
and social media oftentimes is not an exact depiction of what's really going on behind the scenes. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you're struggling, I encourage you to just reach out and to somebody that you admire, that you
Mm-hmm.
might need help with, because at the end of the day, we're all we're all doing this together. So
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we're all in it together. And that's, I think about that. I know, speaking of Taylor Swift, when she released her album and the song Wish List came out, and all of a sudden everyone was like, wait a minute, is the richest woman in the world singing that she wants my life? And it's like, yeah, because the lyric is like, I just want to have a couple kids, have a basketball hoop in the driveway, like, just like, and it's like, just, it's the ordinary things, right? But like, even the people who you think have it all together, they want that ordinary things too. I think it's a matter of like, do you see joy in like the ordinary in your life? And are you like living the dream of chasing something? And it's not, I think so many times, even in business, and I tell myself this too, but like, it's not about, it's not about the journey, it's the destination. But also, that's the truth. Like, it's not about getting there. Like, even like we've always joked, like we go to Florida over Christmas break every year, and sometimes my kids are just like, oh, I just wish it was here. I wish it was here. And I was like, but half the fun is looking forward to it. Like, it's just fun to have something to look forward to that you're reaching, like, as you're starting to pack, as you're booking your flights, as you're doing all those things, like, that's where a lot of the joy is. And so even as you're building your business on social media and in real life, right? It's not just social media, but that's a huge component. But as you're doing that, just finding the joy and like finding the pieces of content that work or getting that DM response to what you've posted, like those are the moments that make you be like, okay, like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and it feels good and I'm living in alignment with like what I know how I'm supposed to be living my life. And like that's something that no piece of content idea, no 100 ways to do whatever. Like you're not going to find it in that. You find it in those little things if you choose to look for it.
100%. I totally agree with you.
I love that.
Everybody in this world, even the most successful person, is still aiming for that next level.
Yeah.
So it's at the end of the day, we're kind of all doing the same thing, just at different spots. So
yes, so true.
It's really important not to compare.
Yes.
But yeah.
Okay, before we go, I need to ask you a few more questions. First of all, I need to hear about this podcast that you have for agents because people need to be listening to this. So tell us all the details.
So I just started it, so it's kind of in its early stages, but I am an ADHD coach as well. I was diagnosed with ADHD about 6 years ago, and it was a pretty life-changing revelation for me. I wasn't surprised, but and just knowing that has really helped me kind of figure everything out. And it wasn't until like I think about 2 years into my real estate career that I ended up hiring a coach because I was struggling to get my business organized. Like, especially if you have ADHD, there's a lot of like shiny object syndrome. And so it's more like, okay, what different techniques can I learn in order to make sure that I show up consistently for myself every day?
Yeah.
And not be an ultimate time waster because, like often before that would start like 6 things and maybe finish 1.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to kind of now be in a position where I can like get things done in the day.
Yeah.
And so I started the podcast to kind of drop all the knowledge of the things that I've learned on how to make life a little bit easier for us. So it's in its early stages, but we'll as it progresses, I'll keep you posted.
Oh, yes, for sure. For sure. I know. I feel like people always say that, like, well, we're just getting started or we just whatever. But it's like, no, but even just those early episodes are so helpful. And it's so fun, I think, to like start a podcast and go along with the journey and like watch its growth. Like I always say that about Jenna Kutcher's podcast. I listened to her pretty much from the beginning. And so even as like she's changed and evolved or whatever, like I'm just like, oh yeah, it's kind of fun. I remember when you recorded those in your car. Like it was cool to be a part of that. So don't discount what you're doing just because it's new. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, exactly. And I've learned a lot from her too. I find that she's got a very, very smart way of doing podcasts, which obviously you can see from the amount of success she's had. But even her story flow and how she structures the episodes and things tie into each other, it's like very, very well done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I also need to ask you, you know how many Canadians email us and say like, I wish there was something like this in Canada. And we're like, you can still use it, but you do have to probably customize something. I'm curious what you customize other than like spelling. What do you have to change and how time consuming is that to make it work for you?
Well, for starters, definitely it's the spelling because we use the OU and everything here. Whereas there's like favorite is OR.
Yeah.
We use OU. So basically what I'll do is I'll usually copy and paste like if it's an email segment.
Yep.
And then just put it into chat and be like, can we Canadianize this?
Yes. Yes. What a
Ah,
great tool, right? That's the way to use it.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then in terms of just, I guess, events, because we obviously have different, we don't have NAR here,
Yeah.
but we were definitely affected by everything that was happening down
Mhm.
there. And it's really important for us to stay informed about what you guys are doing
Yeah.
because we also usually follow trend about whatever kind of your guys' market's looking
Yeah.
like, etc.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, okay, taking this idea and then making it just like a
Yeah.
Canadian version. So
Yep.
yeah, like for
That's awesome.
example, like this month, I think is Thanksgiving for you guys, and we have
Yes.
Thanksgiving in October
Yep.
for no reason. Like there really isn't any backstory for it. Thanksgiving. We were just like, that sounds like a fun holiday. Let's do it
Like, we
too.
should do that. We should do that. That's so cool. You know what? It's just like, yeah, you gotta live a little. You gotta live a little.
Yeah.
That's really fun. Yeah. I've always said, it's funny too. Like, I was the core content creator for several years, and then we recently hired Randy, and she's in Colorado, and I'm in Indiana. And even just from her being on, there's been a couple ideas that I have had that she's like, what are you talking about? We don't do that here. And I'm like, oh, yeah, like, not everything is everywhere. But that's what's so cool about it, because it's all about like, taking the actual like meat of it and then like adding your twist to make it make sense for your audience. But it's not a time consuming thing. It's usually just, or you can always just delete that part or disregard that piece of content and move on to the next one, right?
There are 30 other things for us to choose from. So
Yeah.
if something's not hitting in terms of like, say, the interest rates,
Mm-hmm.
they're different here, then I just don't use that piece of content. I will use another one of the amazing pieces that we have. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome. That's awesome.
yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's easy. Canadians, hop on the boat.
Yes, yes, we love you. We love you so much. Okay, another question I have for you is I feel like we've talked a lot about where you've been and how far you've come, but as we're like heading into a new year, is there like any like specific goal that you really have, or like whether it's like a follower count or like sell so many houses or buy back your time? Like, are there any specific goals that you're like, I really want to figure this out and I want to, because I selfishly just want to watch you do it. So I want to know what your goals are.
Yeah, I would say I want to step more outside my comfort zone in terms of like in listing videos
Mm-hmm.
and creating more
Yeah.
cinematic videos for listings. I
Mm-hmm.
work with a couple of people who really dive into that, and that's something that I really want to explore here is just creating like an experience
Yeah.
through social media, and then just continuing to be funny. I think at the end of the day,
Continuing to be awesome.
yeah, continuing to also make funny things because those are like
Yes.
my favorite. But
Yes.
also it is definitely like you said, freeing up some more time, and I think all that kind of boils down to working with Modern Agent because
Mhm.
I have found since I've started working with you, I have more freedom to go and get other things done because I have the opportunity to have ideas for my content already right in front of me. I don't
Yeah.
have to like come up with a new idea every single day. I still do my own like ideas, but I always open up in the morning and be like, okay, what can I post? What would be resonating with me today?
Yeah.
And then I could just add my own twist, plug it in, go.
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
that's really, really helped. And I think also is diving in more into my email list
Mhm.
and interacting with more of my followers on the back end
Yeah.
and providing value on the other side of things like, hey, yes, here I am online,
Mhm.
but then here also are some stories about my real life on the back end and like
Yes.
kind of how business is really going and not making it cringy. Like nothing
Right.
about a modern agent or the way we want to do things is cringy. We don't want to be
Right.
cringy.
No.
And so, like, having that ability to kind of be like, yeah, this is who I really am, and this is how life is going is a really nice breath of fresh air for a lot of people. I get a lot of positive feedback
That's really cool.
on email. So,
That's really cool. Well, it's not even because of us though. It's honestly because you have done the work to put yourself into it and to like just be a joy to people and like even like just the little thing like the humor and whatnot. It's not fluffy. It's very powerful because people they log on to social media to be entertained, to feel enlightened, to feel seen. And I think your content 100% radiates all of that. So I can't wait for people
our
to
content.
our content. There we go. That's awesome. Well, we
Yeah,
are
I
gonna
just want to say
put
thanks. I
oh my
honestly, I know the
gosh.
amount of work you put in on the back end, and I just wanted to say thanks. Like,
Oh my
I know,
gosh.
like, there's a lot of of just like constantly searching for ways to improve, and it shows. So yeah, I just wanted to
I
say
love
thanks to
that.
all you.
Well,
Yeah.
it's legit the funnest job in the whole world. So
Oh yeah.
I'm so thankful for it all the time. I'm like, I can't believe this is my life. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. We are going to put all of your information in the show notes. We're going to put your handle where everyone can follow you, where everyone can listen to your podcast, all of the things. So we'll get all that information from you, put it all in there. But Melissa, thank you so much for
Yeah.
showing everybody that really just a matter of showing up even in the midst of insecurity. And that's how you grow, which is so cool.
Done is better than perfect. Keep showing up. Just show up, even if you don't think it's working, it's working.
That's so cool. I love it. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sheila.
And we will see you all next Tuesday.
I'm so glad we got to hang out today. If you're as sad as I am that our time is up, I've got good news. There are a couple of different ways we can keep the conversation going.
First, follow us on Instagram at Modern Agent Marketing Girls and introduce yourself in the DMs. Also, we always have a free Modern Agent resource available, so check out today's show notes for the goods.
And finally, hang out with other go-to real estate girls like you and finally create a marketing plan that works when you join Modern Agent Social Club. All the details are in today's notes.
XOXO, the Marketing Girls.